being in the bad books of someone who had an experience with you in the past and now refers to you as a bad actor or whatever doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. And you may not necessarily remember the experience as well because you didn't specifically plan to harm them or to hurt them with your action or your words. Fine. But it doesn't change the fact that you really did that thing. Now we have someone who has self-esteem issues. Probably they hate their teeth and they can't smile. And when they're talking about fighting self-esteem problems, struggling to smile in public, and they remember you being one of those people who always mocked them when they smiled or made certain comments about the size of their dentition or whatever, and you hear that now in the present, you are offended. You are defending yourself, and you don't think that whatever they're saying holds water. But truly, you did that. And though to you it meant nothing, it is affecting them. And this is just one out of the cases of how self esteem issues are built because people make certain comments about children whom are growing and make that growth seem as though it is abnormal. I mean, first of all, we're all built to be different in size and body structure, whatever. Now, because you aren't like that, and that person, for instance, happens to be a family member and is different from you, doesn't mean that you should be making certain types of comments. And though you may think again that those comments are harmless, you never know what that is doing to them. I mean, you're making comments of a person's smile consistently, talking about how their teeth looks, talking about how, or you sometimes you even insult them. Maybe you're pissed and something happens and you look at that your mouth, look at that your teeth, look at, and then you do that consistently without because you didn't necessarily want mean any harm or you wanted anything bad to happen to their thoughts or their esteem. But that comes from you and probably from several other people that are close from school, from people around, even in the family, other people do the same thing. And then this person grows up and is trying to figure out how they got to that point, and they're putting these and these ones and twos together, and your name is mentioned, and you are surprised. Are you even serious? You shouldn't be surprised because you were a part of it. And instead of being pissed or not having it, that someone is referring to you as one of the people that make them have self-esteem problems. You should instead learn from it and try to be positive with your comments, regardless of how harmless you think it is. I, as a person, would have been a victim of that. Maybe I would have hated my height because, if I'm being honest, at some point I was always questioning my height growing up because I couldn't wear heels freely. When you wear it, you'll be like, "You're tall and you're still putting on heels." Or someone say, "Why are you so long?" And mind you, I'm like 5'7", 5'8" currently, 5'7", close to 5'8", and I experienced that like before, like a long time ago. So imagine how that would be for people who experience those type of things consistently and it affects them. Now you're pissed. Please, when you always be positive, always say nice things to people. And even if there's something that doesn't sit well with you, it doesn't have to sit well with you. You just have to do things the right way so that we have less cases of people who have self-esteem problems. So yeah, you can be one of the reasons why someone has that problem, not necessarily because you plan to, or because you weren't really careful and you never cared about what they felt. So that was kind of passive to you. Now that you've heard this from me, you can mend that. Okay,